What's up, homeostasis? Alright, so tonight we're going to have some fun. Messing around with my EF meter. And I also have a couple of other videos that I've already shot, so I'm going to shoot this and then do some editing. The editing. Anyway, so here goes our best friend, our cell phones that normally are always within at least 12 inches of us, if not less. I mean, normally my phone is just like right there next to me. As soon as I get home, I sit down, I put it right there next to me on my lap. It's just become like a part of me. And I think that's going to change. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to take a look at what's happening with the phone in different situations. So let's check out what's going on with our iPhones. I don't know why I'm on Yahoo. Going on with our iPhones as far as like RF frequencies and things like that. So here's the EMF meter. Talked about it a little bit in a previous video when I did a microwave. That was fun. But anyway, so just to do a quick review. Let me put this where it focuses. Really we're concentrating on three different fields: magnetic, electric, and then RF. RF fields. And they each have values that you really don't want to go over. And so we talked yesterday about how different organizations have different values that they adhere to. And we're really I'm trying to go middle of the road, maybe a little bit more on the conservative side from actual EMF scientists who are doing a lot of research in this area. So let's check out what your iPhone is doing. Dun-dun, dun-dun. And as you know, this is all just information. I'm just having fun with this meter that I got. I do all kinds of weird stuff. And but I think this is going to be fun because it really will give you some data, and it'll allow you to, maybe have a different type of relationship with your phone. Relationship with your phone. You know what I mean. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is I have my phone here in this handy little on this handy little stand. And what we're going to do is we're just going to see what's happening with it when it's just sitting there. To be honest with you, iPhones don't put off a lot of magnetic or electric field. So we'll let that stabilize. Even if I get right on it. If I get right on it, it gets a little crazy for the magnetic field. And the electric field, it's a little crazy, but not a lot. It might be over the very conservative numbers. I think 10 is what I have here. Some people have it at 50, but man, the other folks have it very high, which I'm not too sure about. So that was your electric and your magnetic and electric. Let's go to RF. This is just sitting here, and this is with Wi-Fi on. Now you can see you're getting some pulses there. So with Wi-Fi on, it's getting a little crazy. Let me turn this down so you can see the numbers a little bit. So you're getting pulses of like 3.5, 2.5. Remember, we're trying to, for the peak, we're trying to stay under 1.0. And the field over here, we're trying to stay under 0.20. But you can see it's sending pretty strong. That's 14.8 right there, and we're still like inches away. So now that's like 2 inches away. So you can see there's a lot of stuff going on your phone just when it's sitting there. But this is with Wi-Fi on, okay? Now I'm basically turning my Wi-Fi off unless I need it, because you see it's peaking at like maybe 3.4, which isn't crazy. But you know, if you have this, you see, I get a little closer, it's at like 6.4. You know, but if you're just sitting there laying down in your bed, and you see it even peaks like that with Wi-Fi on. You know, if you have this right next to you or laying on your chest or whatever, you're getting hit with some pretty high level pulses, all the way up to like 9.0 and 10.0, which is you know, the where you're not trying to go over is 1.0. So that's with your phone just sitting there and no Wi-Fi. Now, what I've heard is like when you plug it in, it gets even a little crazier. So let me check that out real quick. So let's see. So now that you've plugged it in, it's going pretty crazy. I don't know if you can see that. And that's just with plugging it in. So I actually did hear that on folks telling me that back in the past that if you don't plug your phone in and be next to you. So as you can see, when you plug that phone in, it gets even crazier. I don't know the exact science behind it all. So, you know, many's the time I plug my phone in while I'm watching TV, laying in my bed, and just lay it on my chest. Not doing that anymore. Okay, so here's the next test. Remember, we're just pretty much concentrating on the RF right now. The RF. Let me get a little bit more light in here. Come on, Broseph. On the RF right now, which is down there, right here in the red. Alright, so you can see all this action happening, and it's peaking at around 8, 9. This is with Wi-Fi on. And it's about 3 inches away. The cool thing is if I pull it just closer, I know it's kind of tough to read, it goes away significantly, the amount, but it's still hitting, as you see, 2.3. So even another, I'm at about 10 to 11 inches right away, but that makes a huge difference. So keep your phone away from you. Don't put it right up on you. I mean, really, that's going to be the takeaway from all of this. Is don't put it right up on you. So now let's do some things. I want you to see this. So when I'm in bed at night, I love to just be surfing the internet. But when you surf the internet, I want you to see what happens on your phone. It goes pretty haywire. And this is with me. I just hit 18.0 up here. I just hit 18.0. So as you're scrolling, let me click on here. As you're clicking on links, let's go to a new one. Let's go back. My bad. Let's go back. Let's click on Michael Jackson. As you can see, it's loading, and man, it's just pretty hitting it. I'm hitting 10.0 on my peak, 11.6. So as you're scrolling, it's putting off a pretty good. Wow, that just peaked at 12. So now if I bring it, let me move it back. Now I'm about, I'm about a foot away. And as you can see, let me scroll again, or let me search a different website. Who's single in Austin? Match.com, all right, whatever. As you can see, it's not that bad. It's still hit a 5.6. So just know that as you're scrolling, and this is with Wi-Fi on or off. Right now, Wi-Fi is on. Let's go turn that off because I'm just going to leave Wi-Fi off on my phone just by default. But even without Wi-Fi, I'm not trying to do Match.com. That's just an ad. Or maybe I am. Let's go to James Charles. Farted at least 50 times. Alright. You see, and this is I'm still a foot away. You see I'm getting pummeled. If I look. And I guess it really all depends on the towers and what you're doing. But look, me surfing, playing video, it's just making it go nuts. You see? So surfing on your phone, surfing the web on your phone right in front of you. Now look, I can come close, now I'm about another foot away. I'm about 12 inches away again. And let me click on something. But still, even 12 inches away, you're still getting a pretty good hit from surfing on your phone. So, for me, I'm probably not going to be doing too much more surfing on my phone. I'm going to actually go to my computer, my laptop when I'm at home, and do my surfing. Because I'll do a video on that, but the laptop has a lot less EMF. All right? So now we're going to move on. So I know I've harped on it being, keeping that phone away from you. And basically, the reason that is because with sound, things like sound, light, and this is for all my production folks too. I never knew this. I'm just learning. I've been doing this for doing film, TV production. So for my audio guys and my lighting guys like me, it's called the inverse square law. And so actually check out this little video real quick.
What is the inverse square law? We're going to use a light bulb to illustrate this example. The intensity generated by a light bulb depends on the power of the light bulb that's emitted and also the distance at which you're measuring the intensity from the light bulb. The intensity is equal to the power divided by 4 pi r squared, where r is the distance between a point of interest and the light bulb. So let's say at a distance of 1 meter, the intensity is 360 watts per square meter. What's going to happen if you double the distance? What will be the intensity of the light source 2 meters away from the light source? Looking at this equation, we could see the relationship between intensity and distance. In this case, distance is r. The intensity is inversely related to the square of the distance. To find out what's going to happen if we double the distance, we need to plug in a 2 into this expression. So it becomes 1 over 2 squared. 2 squared is 4. So now we have 1 over 4. So what this means is that when you double the distance, the intensity of the light source at that new point will be 1/4 of what it was before. So at a distance of 1 meter, the intensity is 360 watts per square meter. At a distance of 2 meters, it's going to be 1/4 of that, which is 90 watts per square meter. Now, what about 3 meters away? What will be the intensity? If we plug in a 3 into that expression, this is going to be 1 over 3 squared, which is 1 over 9. So it's going to be 9 times less than 360. So 360 divided by 9. 36 divided by 9 is 4. Add the 0, we get 40. So the intensity will be 40 watts per square meter.
So you see, it works for sound. It works for lighting, but it also works for radiation. They all work on the inverse square law. So it's very important how far away you are from that phone. And what's cool is, if I'm 6 inches away and let's say the peak is at 10.0, when I go 12 inches away, which is twice that, you would think that would half and be like 5.0. But it's not. It's actually 1/4 of 10, which is 4 point something. But my math sucks. And let's continue. Okay, so here we are. And we're going to do the test that I think everybody wants to know. And that's when you make a phone call. So right now it's not doing too much. I turned off the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is off, so it's not pulsing at us. I'm not surfing the internet on my phone, which will make it really pulse at me, create really high EMF fields, way over what is recommended. But let's see if we make a phone call, what happens. So I'm gonna hit this number and I'm gonna put it And as you can see, and now we're about an inch away from it. This thing is just screaming. And if I turned it correctly, as you can see, it's all over the place. So my peak, I can't even read my peak because it's so high. Well, now it's coming back. So, depending on what's going on with the call right now, and that's peaking really high. So let me pull it back away. Inverse square law, still hitting, but way less. We'll go back on it. Not well, the thing, but you can see. And the whole idea is that I'm still getting some RF hitting. It's really weird. Even when you're done with the call, there's still some kind of communication going on, and you'll see it'll slowly go down. So, if anything, do not be putting this thing up against your head. I'm going to make another call just so you see. Don't be putting this thing up against your head. Look what's happening when you make that phone call and you put that up against your head. It just starts screaming at you. And it varies. So use headphones, use Bluetooth. I'm going to do some Bluetooth reviews here in a little bit. Like Bluetooth headphones, and they're really not as bad. They're not as bad at all. So I'd recommend doing that. So that's what your phone is doing. I mean, really, for me, it's all about distance from yourself, especially from your head. And, just keeping, using speakerphone and keeping it, a good 12 to 18 inches away from your face. I mean, the electromagnetic fields drop off fairly quickly. But the thing is, we always have it on our head. We're talking with it right on our ear. And there's all these studies that have been done that are kind of a little crazy when you see what's happening to the brain. And but once again, this is just info for you. Me personally, when I'm coming in the house now, I'm putting my phone over here on the shelf. I don't really get too close to that. And if I need to surf on the web, I go on my laptop, or even in my room. And I'm going to do. The room is really important because when you're sleeping, you don't want to be getting hit with all of these things. And the reason is I'm going to drive around in my car with this thing, and you're going to see just driving across, different places around town. You're continually getting banged with these fields, EMF fields, electromagnetic fields. And so it's really important that at least at home you giving your body a break. And we're gonna do the bedroom, then I'm gonna go around the house, and I think it's interesting. I'm getting really interested in all this stuff. So that's really it. Hope you're all having fun. Back off from your phone, and when you get home, put it away from you, at least 2 to 3 feet away from you at all times. And I know that's tough because we're just so used to just having our phone like right there in our hand, in our pocket, right there, because you just want to grab it and surf and do all these things. But as you can see, your phone is very active when you're doing all that. So I'm going to post a video of workarounds, things that you can do. One last thing. One of the biggest reasons I got into all this, because I was concerned, because I have a 5-year-old, and reading a lot of documentation. For kids, it's even worse because they get more exposure because they're still developing. And one of the main things is their skull is not as thick as ours, especially not mine from knocking it against life as many times as I have. So they're not as developed, so they get more exposure from these devices than we do. And I'm totally guilty of just being like, here's my phone, watch some Netflix. I think about how many times I did that, but oh well. We're learning here. And so, just consider that. It really does affect them more from what I'm reading. But there are some, workarounds that I think I'm finding. I'm gonna do the test and let you decide for yourself. We have an iPad that, when browsing, it lets out significantly less EMF from what I'm seeing from the meter. So I'm gonna do that test, and I'll let y'all check that out. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there because that really is one of the main reasons I even got into all this, because I really wanted to know how this was all affecting, children, my daughter specifically.
Only from the mind of Orion.